I'm going to ask you not to look at the messy wall behind me because I'm in the process of moving and everything's a nightmare. But I did get to go to Adepticon recently and I'd love to show you what I got up to. We'll just cover this up. What we'll do. This year, Adepticon was held in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is a bit of a trek from Scotland, let me tell you. I mean, it felt like a big deal to go because I've never done a lot of traveling. I mean, I've never been anywhere close to as far away from home as America. I hadn't even been on a connecting flight before. I hadn't even been on any flight until I was about 22, so it was a lot. So I guess in a way you could say I'm kind of scared of flying, even though the actual flight part, being in the air, is quite fun to me. It's the pre-flight airporting situation that just sends me into a conniption. Like, how do I know I'm going the right way to get to my flight on time, even though I'm here 4 hours early? I don't know. Have I said the wrong thing at the check-in desk and now my suitcase is on a one-way trip to Azerbaijan? Maybe. Will the American border security officer tackle me to the ground because I have tea bags in my suitcase? I mean, that last one's quite legitimate, to be fair, because the security guy I had looked A, absolutely raging, and B, like he had his TSA shift at 3 and then a WCW title match with Hulk Hogan at 8. He looked like Goldberg, basically. This is Goldberg. I mean, honestly, in Scotland, you get to border control and it's just one guy called Wee Davy who can't even see your passport photo in front of him because he lost all retinal function 3 days into his last 5-day bender, of which it's currently day 4 and he doesn't even know how he got to work that morning. So it was a bit of a tense experience for me with what I'd heard about American TSA. Luckily though, my inability to go 2 weeks without a cup of tea didn't cause any issues, so I managed to get through without being speared by Goldberg Jr. It was a bit overwhelming to be so far from home, but I'd made it, and now it was just time to get to the convention and actually enjoy myself. Adepticon is 5 days long, and there was plenty to do. Firstly, the vendor hall is massive, and there were a ton of cool things to look at and spend your money on. It was so big, it actually took me multiple days to get around and see everything. Some tables were just overrun with people 90% of the time. There were great minis on show, even some less than mini ones, loads of cool terrain and game boards. I got to see some of the coolest models at the Smash Bash table before participating in the hottest ritual summoning of the whole con.
Nice. You did. Just keep that.
Side note, I would have had more footage of this whole vendor hall section, but about halfway through doing it, we realised that Trent, who was very kindly filming for me and who uses a camera very well, might I say, on his own YouTube channel, forgot how to press record and therefore had recorded sweet F all up until that point, so cheers mate.
I can't believe I haven't been recording, that's so embarrassing.
I had a swatch at the Golden Demon cabinets when I could get a chance. They were pretty mobbed the whole time, and of course we ran into cool people wherever we went. This is my Adepticon interview, Trent. How are you finding it?
It's quite good.
Yeah. What's your favourite part?
Hanging out with you, Ben.
Another thing you can do at Adepticon is, of course, play games. I didn't play too many as it was so very busy, but I did manage to sneak in a few. I got to play an experimental many-player version of Mech 28 from Berserker Works Bill, which was mega fun, particularly because we had real gamer Niche Crafts playing, who was just chaos incarnate. His Studio Ghibli mech perched on this structure for most of the game, in between exploding itself about once a turn and absolutely wrecking the rest of us. Although he took it by many points, he did so with a KD ratio that would make your COD-playing little brother very concerned. I, however, spent the game ruining my friendship with E.G. Makes by turning on her with the very mech she let me borrow to play the game with. Sorry, Elle. Speaking of the amazing Elle Graves, I also got to play a few rounds of the game she's been working on with Tariq Havoc called Undercrown. They set up a tournament for some playtesting and I had a blast. It's a great game already and I would definitely recommend you checking it out as more is released. Terran of Conjured Craft did beat me both times we played, so I'm a bit sore about that and will have to hold a grudge against them for all eternity. But they did lose to Witty in the final while I watched on, so, you know, small victories. I got to witness some folks playing Snack 28, the candy cannibalism game of my childhood dreams. Honestly, when Fiverr showed off the board and models, they were some of my favourite things I saw all convention. They are just so awesome. I think making some little snacks may be in my future after that. So, you know, stay tuned, subscribe. Anyway, on Friday night, I attended the Bits Market, where people bought and traded bits from their collections. It was really fun to see everyone pouring through huge tubs of bits, and did I not already need to lay on my suitcase like I was trying to wrangle a particularly voracious pig in order to get it to shut, I'm sure I would have tried to get my hands on even more too. In our little corner of the con, there also grew an increasing number of people kit bashing, painting and crafting. So I settled myself in for a while and made these mimic adjacent little guys, and whatever this other one is, I didn't quite get that far. Of all the things I did at Adepticon, my favourite part by far was getting to hang out with my friends. The best part of this hobby is the community, the people you meet along the way. Our group of art goblins, as we call ourselves, have been meeting up for weekly video calls for quite some time now. And although I've hung out with a few of them in person before, for most of us this was the first time meeting IRL. So to see some real faces in front of me was pretty cool, even after I'd adjusted to everyone being a different height than I'd imagined through the screen. They were all still taller than me though, so some things will never change. I do really wish I'd gotten more footage because there's a ton of great people that I met that I haven't even mentioned because I didn't get any video of them at all. So please know that I still appreciate you just as much, but in my defense, I was just having a great time, so please forgive me for that, and we'll add it to the to-do list of things to improve upon next time. It wasn't just my own friends I got to meet though, I also met some new folks and some people who I'd maybe only exchanged a few Instagram DMs with. It was amazing to meet so many awesome people throughout the convention. Even though meeting new people gives me more anxiety than calling the doctor myself, which, as millennials, we all know is the worst possible thing that can happen. I do apologise though to anyone I didn't manage to say hello to or who I was in any way awkward around. It's not a joke, that part. I really am not very good at this whole talking to people malarkey, but I am working on it, I promise. I mean, I don't usually get out very much, which you'll understand if you're anything like me who doesn't leave the house but to emerge like Jesus from the tomb from a weekly big shop. But alas, after 5 lovely days, it was over. I spent the next few days hanging out with Trent and Rachel in Chicago, chilling out, seeing the Bean, and spending a whole day at the Art Institute, which is absolutely massive, it turns out. They even had a miniatures section, which felt very apt. Then I was off to New York for a few days, where my friend Paige, PMC Illustrations on Instagram, shepherded me through all of the classic American experiences. Times Square, the Empire State Building, and New York-style pizza, which was a nice refreshment after having the Chicago-style beast a few days before. Please don't come for me in the comments, okay? I'm not used to the American-sized portions, and Chicago-style pizza is on another level. We also somehow stumbled upon the Tartan Day Parade, which is a parade celebrating Scotland and Scottish things, I guess, in the middle of Manhattan. Didn't even know that was happening. What are the chances? I cannot describe to you how out of body an experience it was to have travelled 4,000-ish miles across the globe and then out of nowhere be assaulted by the very specific music of your home country. Let alone the hundreds of people in kilts. There was Walker's shortbread being handed out. There were banners for the university that I went to. I'm not even doxing myself with that. I think every university in Scotland was represented by a group of slightly baffled looking graduates in tartan trousers waving flags about. It was truly bizarre. I hopped on a couple of flights and made it back to real Scotland in just about one piece, ready for a very big sleep. When I said going on this trip was a big deal for me, I really did mean it. From all the travelling by myself to the human interactions. I mean, seriously, talking to people is hard. But if you're thinking about going to a con someday and worried because of the social aspect, then please now know if I can do it, someone with the social aptitude of a wet lettuce, then bloody hell, so can you. Everyone I met was lovely and welcoming, and honestly, we're all just a bunch of nerds at the end of the day, so you certainly won't be alone. If I can give any advice, I do try and live my life with a bit of a go out and do the scary thing mentality. It doesn't mean it's not going to be absolutely terrifying, it still usually is, but it does mean that you'll feel better after, and usually it's a little bit easier the next time you try. So give it a go, or don't, I guess. I'm not a professional, so don't sue me. So here we are. I know this video has been a bit different. It's the first one I've actually made where I don't have a project to talk through, so just sort of figuring it out as I go along. But thank you for sticking around. Let me know if you liked it in the comments or if I should just stick with what I'm passable at. TLDR, I had a banger of a time at Adepticon and can't wait to go back again one day. This is the part though where I say please like and subscribe and comment and check out the Patreon, whatever tickles your fancy. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you after.